Hello and welcome to RimWorld. More specifically, welcome back to this marshy chaos. Much more of the outer wall for this area is being built. Planned some locations for our first power, and we've continued our researching and recruitment efforts on Gubasiaban, and we're now getting raided. Uh, Again, it's just by... Oh, it's just a postman. It's just one dude, so I think we'll probably just come out here and kite him a bit with our two bolt-action rifles. Now, the question is postman any good? They are a jogger, and they are jealous. Social, medical, and plants. They are pretty good. I'm going to get these two to hold fire, and I'm gonna risk it. They're not incredible, but Jogger is very good. They've got a shooting passion. I recruited a lot worse people, and I'm gonna shock you. To get down here, primarily to put you out. Burn scar. Well, that was always going to be a risk. Let's capture you. And okay, so we have had Stephen as a transport pod crash, and so I've sent Adams out to tend to them. Stephen is great memory jogger and body modder, and they have passions in everything useful. So I'm really hoping we'll be able to recruit them. So now Adams can rescue them. Adams has been doing a pretty good job and has already bashed out both smithing and machining. So we're shooting straight for assault rifles, I think, for that extra range. And we'll try and set up a kill box based on assault rifle range, I think is currently the plan. So this is brilliant. I'm really hoping that Stephen will want to join us. We've still got Gubasiaban and Postman that we are... Oh, a male. That's good, because I think everybody, unless I'm wrong, is male. So that will be high moods for everyone, which will even help with our prisoners. So that's brilliant. That's really, really useful. We could do with expanding this actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down. In fact, that's the next thing that's happening, is we are in the process of building some wind turbines, which is very good for our first bit of power. And Mad elk. Jump to location. Now that's very dangerous. So Jackson is currently down here by themselves. Let's send George to help them. It is badly raining, but that was actually a hit, which was really, really good. Let's spread them out a little bit. Hey George, you're good to keep firing. Another hit. No hit that time. Another hit. Okay, bit close for comfort now. Damn it. Come on. This is really dangerous. Okay. I need you to stop firing. I actually can't believe an elk just did that. It's moving 50%. Why was Jackson so slow? Does Jackson have food poisoning? That's my fault. I should have spotted that. Like, they'll be alright. And they're going to look like they're catching up because they are a bit. But I think we are faster than them still. Come rescue. Jackson's fine. They're just being pathetic. And remember, they are bleeding out. It's another. Again, I'm trying to be careful, but I feel like I'm not being careful enough. Things like checking their health and moving speed, realising that they have food poisoning. I could have just closed the door, you know, could have waited for it to be light. I'm not. I need to get my head out of the drug making mindset, which was whatever you do, do it quickly. And also, things don't blow up. Right, you know what, George? You just let that bleed out. That's fine. So it is going well, but I do need to be careful. Jackson taking that damage there was actually really, really dangerous. Now this quest is, they've been wounded, she'll join us. Whereabouts are you? Is the next question. So if they're pretty close, then we might go out and do that. They're probably not that far away, so I will think about that. And we may do it, but it will be a second if we do. I'm glad to see Postman is up and about. I know that they're going to have 60% on all of these things, but even if they're just doing plants, that's fine. I mean, it isn't ideal. The other thing we could do is put Lord Lucifer in, if we recruit them. I think we'll probably do that, actually. He's recovered and decided to leave, has he? Well, you're still incapable of walking. We'd better build another bed. Why do they keep wanting to leave? This place is great. We've got a psychic soothe. Cargo pods. Huh. The amazing thing that I've just realised is Adams is completely cured of their alcohol addiction with no problems, which is awesome. So they can go on a less restricted schedule. And I don't really need to change what they're doing, but that's great. I'm really glad. I guess that psychic drone helped with the last bit as well. But that was a really simple solve. Considering they've decided to leave is good. I think it actually will make the most sense. It's good you're building this. But we probably want to arrest them sooner rather than later. And then George, once you've planted that, you're going to arrest Stephen. And we're going to get recruit going on you. George is very much our in-demand chap at the moment. Deconstruct. Work on. There's no door there. Oh, I'm an idiot. Wooden door. We had a bit of a problem with me completely failing to set up my mic correctly, and so I recorded the end of this episode fully and then realised that none of my voice was actually recorded. So I'll try and combine the footage correctly, but it will just be a bit of a summary. So we made quite a bit of progress. Some highlights include, let me flick through here. We did manage to recruit Gubba Siaban, which was really brilliant, and we got him set up to help plant. He did admittedly go straight into a daze and spent the first few days failing to do any harvesting that led to food shortages, which was a little interesting. We then designed a kill tunnel, which you're seeing here, so 5 wide. We're having to kind of space things out a lot more because if something does blow up, I don't want it taking out other traps, and so I'm doing limestone for the outer walls and then wooden fences like this to hopefully cause enemies to walk through this centre aisle, so when they blow up it shouldn't damage the walls on either side, and these should be spaced out enough to avoid any further damage that way. So I continued with making that. We got Gubba Siaban all properly set up, and he's pretty good at art, so we popped down an art table. We did have Stephen go berserk and try and kill Postman, that led to a pretty dramatic fist fight between the two of them. George sensibly got out of there, and Postman had as this played through, Postman started to fight back. Stephen did have a better skill. I managed to stop George from sniping Stephen in the head and blowing them both up. And Postman, had the cool move of going back to sleep in the middle of a fist fight before hopping back up out of bed and knocking Stephen to the ground, which was unexpected and very cool. So that led to no further issues there, which was brilliant. We then had another exotic trader show up, which led to us selling them some plasteel and a turkey that's self-tamed. We had a exotic trader show up, and we sold them some plasteel and a turkey that's self-tamed that I figured we didn't really want through winter. And we were then attacked by a manhunt pack of rabbits, so I decided to sell to close all the doors, hide inside, and let them deal with it. This led to the bunny rabbits closing in on the exotics goods trader, and they didn't really notice until suddenly they were being attacked, and there was some pretty dramatic consequences. So they very much killed 3 individuals down here who basically got hit by 2 explosions, and Jules was badly wounded, so we got Adams to follow after Jules, who had been really pretty damaged. Jules sucked it up for a surprisingly long time, given their kidney was destroyed and they had a shredded torso, but they eventually did fall down, which meant that Adams could get straight on tending them. We did manage to rescue them successfully. I was thinking about hoping to recruit, but of course that would involve capturing them, and we don't want to make enemy of their faction, so I expect Jules will wander off and we'll get a bonus to the faction relations, which is good because we lost some faction relations due to 3 people dying to bunny rabbits on our map. So we managed to get Jules back in and realised that Gubba Siaban was starting to get a bit chilly because of the fact they weren't wearing anything, and we're going into autumn, getting closer to winter. A tiny bit later, we had a wild boar go manhunter when Jackson was trying to get some rocks for making some chunks to make bricks, and with some sharp shooting, the problem was quickly solved. It was definitely an episode of recruitment because we had Postman then join. He's a jogger, jealous, but again has the all-important plant skill which we really need at the moment. Having George taken fully off plants will really free them up to focus on the cooking and the recruiting, things like that, as well as the mining. We're pretty short on miners at the moment. During all of this time, we've also had Adams really bash away at some research, so they've finished a few more technologies to get us closer to making our own guns, as well as finishing off batteries for us, so hopefully we can have a much more reliable source of energy. So we got Postman to work, and we stripped one of the corpses and gave the parka to Gubba while we wait on making our own parkas from some of the fur that we have. Finally, we decided to lay out some plans for a sun lamp. I realised that with our population growing and winter fast approaching, we were going to need to rely on more than just hunting wild animals that explode. And so now that we've got batteries and 2 wind turbines, I'm hoping that we'll be able to use campfires and a sun lamp to grow some more crops, likely rice to be the lowest risk. With our more planters, we're confident we'll be able to keep bringing in wood for it, and so yeah, I laid out the plans for that. It also perfectly fits with the wind turbines going across towards the place where we'll eventually put that hydro power spot. So hopefully that will allow us to really get on top of our food production through winter. And that is pretty much where I left the episode, so I appreciate this has been a bit more of a rush through. There was a lot of progress and a lot of, I'm sure, amazing current commentary that you've missed on, but hopefully at least going through these videos has given you a bit of a summary of what happened. I believe we're about 2.5 hours into the 10-hour challenge, so it's very much been focused on survival currently, and I think it kind of still will, but we definitely want to increase the start looking at how we can increase the wealth. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll make sure I don't make the same microphone issue in the future, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, goodbye.